1.
Have you ever had that moment where it is that all that seems certain, the unshakable foundations upon which you base yourself, your life, your philosophies, your creed, in those moments where those sacred tenets are utterly shaken to their core? Tonight we will join a cadre of magi as they wend their way through their average lives in Dublin. Some are vested with a knowledge that others are not. Tonight we will begin our scene with wherever in the city you may be, wherever you have chosen to lay your heads, for the night is long and dark. And you will be greeted by a rather unearthly sound that comes to your ears. It doesn't seem to come from a direction so much as it comes from all around you. The sound of an animal in pain. If any of you have ever heard the sound of a great wounded deer, that would be appropriate.
Oh no.
Oh wow, that raises memories.
I've heard a fish scream. Does that count?
Probably not. But if any of you've ever heard a large animal let out a cry of pain, it sounds somewhat similar. You can almost feel taste on your tongue, a smearing of blood. It is heavy. It is metallic. The coppery taste, unnerving.
I'm assuming Cassidy has been unable to reach the Keeper over the last however long it's been.
It's been roughly the same time that it has been since the scene occurred. But yes, you have been unable to reach him. The door to Kalhaya that exists, where it exists, has remained closed. There again, through the darkness, through the streets, you hear the sound of a wounded animal calling out.
Aurora will go look for it.
Cassidy's also going to go look for it because this screams, supernatural.
Alright. As you walk, you will eventually find your way to a wooded green area, a place that's known as Harold's Cross, located not far from the city centre. And once again, from the inside of the park, you will hear the low, mournful sound of an animal as it lays dying. You will greet each other, you will find each other, you will meet one another as it is you start towards the gate to the park. So feel free to roleplay amongst yourselves.
Aurora looks over at Cassidy. Hey, you're the sad girl.
Cassidy can't communicate through normal speech at the moment. She's not even going to attempt it.
You can still nod and shake your head.
Yeah, she would just nod because that's about all she can manage at the moment.
Oh, okay. Did I make you upset?
She will shake her head no.
You talked last time, so something is different.
She can't talk right now because and he'll look. Jason, what's your character's name again?
Damien.
And he'll point to Damien. Damien can explain it better. He was there, I believe.
At which point you see Damien walking towards the group.
Hello. What happened to the sad girl? She lost her voice.
It's a pretty bad case of paradox backlash.
Oof. What'd she do?
I would, as far as I could see, try to heal someone. I would guess that it failed, and paradox, well, did its thing.
Let's go find out where this god-awful shrieking is.
Sounds like a plan. That's what I was planning to do. Let's go.
Okay, so instead of like doing the normal thing of opening the gate and going through like a normal person, she just hops over it.
Want to roll me dexterity athletics? Because it's quite a high fence.
Cassidy's going to open the gate and go through
Same here.
because she is not athletic at all.
To vault it is just going to be standard death.
Yeah.
Zero successes.
She attempts to jump
Successes
and
and 2 1s.
She tries to jump and kind of gets stuck on top of it. Literally, her shirt gets impaled by the spike at the top of the gate. She just kind of hangs there by her shirt. Help!
No, Jasper will also. But he just, instead of like actually helping her, he just like undoes the shirt so she falls.
Okay. Congratulations! You are now in the middle of Dublin without a shirt on. There you go.
Cassidy will
No,
pull a spare out of her bag.
Okay.
There is now a spare shirt.
I'm okay. I meant he pulled the shirt up, but okay. Oh, I guess that would guess. And then he tries to jump himself over it.
What? It's not like it's.
Oh wait,
There's a fucking gate!
Gates open. Gates open. He'll go through the gate.
Just wanted to say.
Look up while putting on the sweater. I've never had the chance to jump a fence before, so I thought I would try.
Next time, don't make your first time over such a high fence.
I'll keep that in mind.
She kind of, points to Jasper like, yeah, he's got a point.
The park itself is lit by a number of very large lamps that basically go along a lover's lane that you can walk through the foliage. You'd assume during the day it's rather pleasant. As you race, however, down between the ferns and the eaves of the trees, past benches where lovers would sit and sigh longingly at one another, you once again get the same smell of blood and the same taste that something is very wrong. Until eventually you come to what looks to be a large clearing at the center of the park, wherein there is an artificial lake, a small lake, a pond perhaps would be more appropriate. And you see laying on the side of the pond, attempting to pick itself up, a great deer. A deer far larger than any deer you have ever seen. It
Cassidy
desperately
recognizes this deer.
You do. It desperately kicks its legs as blood froths from its mouth.
Jasper undoes his shirt and starts going into the pond.
Yeah, Cassidy is going to rush to the deer because she recognizes this deer.
Hang on, okay, just a quick moment. Nelson, you said something first. The deer will lash out at you with its antlers. It doesn't know you. Give me a moment. I'm going to just roll its attack roll. It is on stupid wound penalties, if it helps. It only gets one success. So, an antler, I'd say, is strength +1. So you're getting its base strength. For the record, guess the base strength of a great Irish elk is. The answer may surprise you.
Stupidly
4,
high.
5.
It's 8.
Oh shit!
Oh!
Did you just kill a mage?
I may have done.
I think so.
No, I haven't killed him. He's just dropped immediately to incap with lethal as he's speared. Oh wait, hang on. Do you have the means of soaking lethal?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I do. I think I do. I'm new to Mage, but what do I do? Isn't it Prime?
No, you have to have it pre-prepared. You cannot cast in the instant. So if you do not have a protection put up beforehand, it does not count. So what will happen is, don't worry, Cassidy is here. You probably won't die.
I'm not the only one who can heal anymore either.
Correct.
Smashes its head into you, and you see, all of you, its antlers pierce through his body as he's ragdolled around a little bit before he's flung about 10 feet in the opposite direction.
Yeah,
Cassidy
Damien
will
starts
look at
running
Damien
towards
and point
Jasper.
to Jasper while she
For
goes
record,
to the deer.
I will point out, importantly, this deer is huge. AKA, when I say huge, at the shoulder, it's about 12 feet tall. If any of you have, I will let Jasper roll in a few moments when he is more put together. On the side of Nelson, that was just an obscenely lucky roll. I don't even. 9 dice, he rolled 7 successes.
I mean, I'm used to people lacking. You should.
The whatchamacallit, if any of you have any kind of lore pertaining, if any of you have if any want to roll intelligence academics, or if you've got science that's specifically linked to biology, you can give me an intelligence academics roll to identify the deer if you'd like.
Cassidy doesn't need to, but she is running to the deer because this is her friend.
Not necessary, my guy has already seen and identified it a while back.
Does the spec bright count for intelligence?
I'm going to say yes.
5 successes.
Oh, right, this is the Great Irish Elk. These things were meant to have gone extinct during the last Ice Age. They are huge primeval. They are a huge species of deer that roamed a lot of Ireland and Great Britain. But once again, they're meant to have gone extinct about 10,000 years ago. And here is one in the flesh.
Magic. So, since Cassidy is working on the deer, Aurora will approach but keep her distance, not
Yeah, she's
spherical.
gonna hold up her hand to keep her back.
Yes, she's not gonna be within spherical distance. She's gonna crouch down to eye level with the deer and use Prime 2 to offer it some quintessence.
What happens is, for the record, Cassidy's presence does seem to calm it. By the way, who's healing? Who's healing?
That would be me.
Would you like to roll me your die? Because bear in mind, he's dying. He's actually hemorrhaging.
Yeah. That's why Damien rushed over to Jasper, and will try to heal him with Life 3 using Foci.
All right. Do you want me to roll it for you?
Yes, please.
Okay, no worries. Yep, you get 3 successes, so that is enough to kick off the effect. Boom, Jasper's healed for 6 points of lethal damage. You will take a point of paradox.
Understood.
So, Jasper, you come back to consciousness as like it's one of those moments of You are covered in your own blood, but you don't feel too bad.
Ah, fuck.
Yeah, never underestimate an Irish elk. And Damien will try his best to help Jasper up.
Thank you.
As you get closer to the creature, you become aware almost immediately, Cassidy. Its injuries are very peculiar. As you look it over, it's been really badly burned.
Yeah, she is just going to kind of, start stroking it and trying to calm it down and possibly attempt to heal it.
Okay. I was going to say, Kim, you were feeding it quintessence, weren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, would you like to make me that roll, please?
Prime 2, correct?
Yep, prime 2.
And she is going to draw in her hand a symbol for light to lower the difficulty. 2d10. And it's level 2. It starts at 4, then it goes down 1 for the. So. I'm gonna spend a willpower. 3 successes.
Sorry, I couldn't find the unmute button. Yeah, you feed it the quintessence. That appears to calm it down significantly. It was very, even with Cassidy there, it was still very, very antsy. But the light that basically is transferred between the mage and the deer appears to calm it to a much greater and more noticeable effect, to the point that it has become practically docile at this point. However, it is still very badly hurt.
Yeah, Cassidy's going to attempt to heal it.
Do you have at least Spirit 2?
Yes, she does. She has Spirit 2, Life 2. No, she has Spirit 3, Life 3. Blah.
Okay, then yes, you may attempt to heal the deer. I will say, the healing you will do will be against aggravated damage. Remember, you'll have to spend your precious quintessence.
Yep, can do.
I can, if you need, I can give you some quintessence.
That would be lovely after this. She's going to use her focus. So that brings it down to a 5. No, Spirit 2. Brings it down to a 4.
Mm-hmm.
3 successes.
Your hands blaze with the healing energies of the life sphere, and you will see the animal's wounds begin to knit themselves closed. As it does so, it is finally able to rise to its feet. You haven't healed it completely, not by a long shot. You suddenly come to the realization that it must have a much hardier constitution than a person. That is the GM speak of saying it has many more health levels than a person does. But it is able to now stand, and it towers over you all. On a side note, its left antler is covered in Nelson.
And Jasper, to be fair.
She is just going to, stroke the deer because this is her friend.
Or will hold out her hand.
Aurora gets nuzzled. As it does so, it leans its head down, and it appears to be. It sniffs her with its great nostrils, like it really takes in her scent, like before it will eventually put it will put its snout to her face and kind of gently tussle. He's friendly.
Like I said, this is how I get him diabetes.
Yes, give everyone the diabetes.
Jasper slowly approaches the head.
It looks at Jasper and it kind of cocks its head to the side. It doesn't appear threatening anymore.
Can't bet it.
It accepts the pets.
She looks to Damien because she knows that he also knows who this belongs to.
Yeah. Damien gives her a worried look.
Mind explaining to us, because she can't.
This is an Irish elk from Merlin's dimension. From his, what was that? Shard Realm. There we go. The fact that it has been that badly hurt really doesn't bode well. I saw it the last time I was in Merlin's Shard Realm. And Damien very slowly approaches it, not looking it directly in the eye, and offering a very relaxed, outstretched fist for it to smell him.
It will scent you. Once again, you get this distinct impression it is most comfortable with Cassidy and Damien because it recognizes their smell.
And then he'll start stroking, well, whatever part he can get to, since it's a ginormous beast.
Its head is currently lowered, so you can reach its head.
Yeah. He'll gently try to scratch it behind the ears.
It turns away from you all, and you can see it walks down into the lake. And as it does so, it presses its snout. To the water, and a ripple goes out over the entire lake. Very much like disproportionate with the impact of the snout. And then it is that you see a great tree, a tree larger than any tree you have ever seen, that is beneath a night sky over which hangs stars that no man has named, for no man has ever seen. And you see that tree surrounded by a lush and beautiful garden, a garden that stretches as far as the eye can see on either side in every direction. And then you see it all engulfed in fire.
Oh no.
Shit.
Tears just begin welling in Cassidy's eyes.
You see the elk, the herd, burn as one of them, this one, plows its way into the water, its flesh cindering. And then it is here.
Don't cry, Cassidy. From the ashes, new growth can come. A tree can't be killed that easily.
And she really wishes she could explain right now that this is no ordinary fire. She just shakes her head.
I'm sure there's many things you want to say, but you can't. But that's okay, we'll talk later. Or you could just text me.
I don't think she can.
She
tried
can't
writing.
write either.
Yeah, Jasper, she tried writing the other night. She couldn't do that. I doubt she can try. She can text.
Oh. Well, you guys want to go put out a fire? Or walking towards the image in the lake? I'm assuming this is how we get through.
Does Aurora step into the water?
She gets close. She's at the edge of the lake and she looks into the water.
Nothing happens.
Well, Cassidy's doing it. She's going to follow the elk into the water.
Damien follows Cassidy.
And Jasper follows Damien. Da 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 da.
Alright, cannonball!
Nothing happens.
Oof.
The image dissolves. It flitters away. You're disturbing the water. This wasn't a portal, this was an image.
Cassidy is going to try one last desperate time to call out for Merlin. And she does have the acorn that he gave her. Way back when.
You do. You feel a ripple when you call, almost like a finger or fingers reaching out to grasp your hand, but they cannot fully reach. So you feel the air that is the suggestion of a grasping hand. So you are almost certain that he is alive, which is something. You then hear a voice, all of you do, say, "Oh dear. It's come to that, hasn't it? Well, there you go." And as you turn, you see a very beautiful woman with cascading blonde hair. She's sitting on a rocky outcropping at the center of the lake, her feet dangling in the water. She's got her head kind of on her knees as she's looking down.
Is it Hope?
No.
Oh, okay.
Does that figure look...
Is this someone Cassidy would recognize?
Not really. I mean, she's pretty, but she's not necessarily... She's quite nondescript. She's wearing a very nice dress. It's kind of silver.
And who would you be?
Wait, is it Aurora's mom?
It is not your mother.
I feel like I know who this is out of character.
Who do you think it is?
Morgana.
No.
No, okay.
Morgana does exist, but it's not Morgana.
Yeah. Damien looks at the lady in the middle of the lake and tries to see if there's anything that might give away or associate her with the lady of the lake.
That is a very interesting question. You could ask her.
Art thou the lady of the lake?
That is one of my names, but you can call me Nimue.
Great Nimue, could you help us enter the realm that we saw?
She stands up and she walks on the water. You can see her footsteps create ripples as she does so. But she walks towards you and she says, "I can't. That place is no longer there. I cannot take you to what does not exist any longer." "Let me ask you a question," she says, as the elk will nuzzle her and she will pet it softly. "Let me ask you a question. The keeper, Merlin, whatever name, Magda, he has many names. Why is it you think that he stayed? Why is it you think that he never left?"
It's more a guess at this point.
Well, guess.
If my home were burning, I would try and save it. I don't know if that's the same case for Mr. Keeper, but...
In truth, she smiles and she strokes her face. She strokes Aurora's face softly. "In truth, he did, or he couldn't, rather. The keeper knew, or he to say he knew was wrong, but unfortunately, and I will say this, but do not blame yourself. The keeper knew what he took onto himself in that moment, and he knew what it would do. But you had called your favor due, and so it was. He was honor bound to accept the consequences.
Damien's expression on his face is just. It's obvious to read that he feels awful.
However, that's not to say necessarily that this is the end of a story. It's not. She reaches into her sleeve and she draws out a handkerchief and she wipes away Cassidy's tears. And Cassidy, as she does this, if you go to say thank you to her, you are able to talk.
She looks a little surprised as the words kind of tumble from her lips. Oh.
Hey, look
Okay.
at that. You can talk now.
Can talk again. Well, that's... Thank you.
She smiles. He knew what would happen, because if you think about it, stories are all the more dull when it is you know what it is that's going to happen. That's not to say that he's gone. He's not. Technically speaking, what that entity did was put him in a place and bind him with a chain. He bound him with the chain of the story that's being written now. So it is that what was not part of the world is now part of the world again. Do you understand?
He wasn't bound by the laws of the story, now he is.
She nods. But the funny thing about stories is that in times of need, when it is that everything seems darkest, heroes have this odd tendency to rise up. That's the nature of them. That's the nature of things. So, to answer your question, or the question I asked you, Master Damien, why was it that he stayed there? Well, one of the rules of Kalhaya that I'm sure Miss Wilson here will have told you was you could never leave anything behind in Kalhaya. Anything you brought, you had to take with you. Do you know why that was?
So that there weren't ties to our world.
No, and yes. Because anything that was left in Kalhaya when it was you left ceased to be. It was the cycle of things. Creation, destruction, creation, destruction. The very reason the place was built in the first place. And the reason the Keeper never left was because the Keeper brought something with him from the outside world to Kalhaya a very long time ago. And if he left, truly left, as opposed to just flitting out as he sometimes did when he was not truly gone, but a little bit, then that thing would have ceased to be. And we couldn't have had that now, could we? She kneels down in the water and it kind of ripples out from her as she plunges her hand into the pond itself. And in one very smooth motion, she draws out a beautifully etched, almost perfect sword with a great ruby set in the pommel. Its blade appears to be made of silvered steel. A snarling dragon wrapped around the crossguard, and she holds it up into the air. He couldn't have let this simply cease to be.
Cassidy's eyes go wide.
Is that fucking Excalibur?
It has many names, Master O'Bannon. Excalibur, Caliborn, the Blade of Kings, the one true begotten son. It has many names.
Can't touch it.
You can, but you can't draw it from its sheath. She will hold out the blade for anyone to take from her hands.
Or we'll gingerly take it. She does actually a really good melee stance and gives it a couple of swings.
May I? Let's see.
3 successes for practice swings.
But yeah, Nelson, you are eventually past the sword. Once again, I will point out, none of you are able to draw it from its sheath. Even if you try, the blade won't come loose.
But he also kind of gives a stance. This is a damn good sword. Which should be fucking obvious.
It is, for the record. If any of you know swords, it's perfectly weighted. It's a beautifully crafted piece of... it's beautifully crafted. Like, you could balance the sword on the sweet point on your little finger, and its balance is so perfect it will stay. It will stay equally weighted. But she'll say, "Nay, I know that this might be hard, and I know that just because you've got phenomenal power doesn't mean that you're phenomenally wise. Mages often fall into that unfortunate category. So I need you to do something for me. Somewhere in the city, there's a boy. Somewhere in the city, there is the keeper of that sword. You must give it to him. Will you do this for me?"
Wait,
Yeah.
Yes.
Cassidy will nod.
He said,
the reincarnation of Arthur?
well, that should be obvious.
The once and future king.
Yeah, but okay. There's a
Well.
difference between 17-year-old being kid and a kid.
At present, the boy is 18 years of age.
Okay. That's fine then.
Oh well. I'm only doing this because you saved my ass. He says Damien. And he will manipulation subterfuge, because he's not only doing this because Damien saved his ass.
There is one thing more that I may give you before it is you go. She holds out her hand and she says, "This came from Merlin. He intended you to have it, Cassidy." In her hands, there is a rather plain, simple-looking ballpoint pen.
Cassidy will take the pen.
How is it that I phrase this to you? Just because certain people have certain books, well, a book is only as good as the ink.
She won't nod.
Within that pen, there is the ability to do or to change the story 3 times, provided you do not use it to bring definite, obvious, and lasting harm to anyone. The story may be changed 3 times.
That's I see that's 2 successes if you on his manipulation subterfuge if you want to see through Jasper's bullshit.
You know what? Fuck it.
Damien is not expecting any particular subterfuge from Jasper, so he'll believe you. And his expression lightens up a bit.
I mean,
And, yeah.
what he said was he's only. Yeah, he said he's only doing it because Damien helped him. There's definitely more to it.
Yeah, that's 6 successes on the perception empathy.
Yeah, there's definitely more to it. He wants to help.
She's not going to say anything. But she's going to tuck the pen into her bag. Very, very carefully.
Very well then, brave, intrepid little. You are children. But there's so much potential. I have faith in your abilities. Oh, and there's the slight matter of our friend here. She pets the elk. He is not of your world.
What can we do?
We can hide him with
I mean, Christina and I have a backyard, but I don't think it's big enough for him.
maybe in the high umbra.
It couldn't survive on the high umbra.
It couldn't. Oh, okay.
No, bear in mind, unless you have your merit, you can't enter the high umbra as a physical being.
That's
You
fair.
actually have a merit that lets you do it.
That's fair.
She's just going to stroke his hindquarters. Because I assume he walked out further than we did.
Yeah, Nimue will say, all right then, how about this? She will lean in and she strokes the beast's, she strokes its neck. And as she does so, the elk gets decidedly smaller until it is roughly about the size of an ordinary deer. An ordinary male deer, so it is still physically large, but it is not nearly as large.
I think we can fit him in my backyard now. Maybe. Oh, Christina's gonna kill me.
So, you all have your task. The boy was under the protection of a woman who named herself Darcy. I don't know where he is now, but you'll have to find him.
Cassidy's eyes go wide at the mention of Darcy's name.
Damien swallows very hard at the mention of Darcy's name.
Who's Darcy?
She was a friend.
Is this the same kind of friend as Minnie?
Yes.
She offers Cassidy a hug.
Cassidy will accept the hugs, because Cassidy is a hugger.
All of your characters are huggers.
Jasper is a hugger, but he can't let other
Katya is
people
not
know
a
that.
hugger. Katya is decidedly not a hugger.
With most people.
With most people. Cassidy will hug anybody. Except Asmodeus.
Jasper is a hugger, but he can't let other people know that yet. Well, should we get going?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess I'm taking this guy back to my house. Or mine and Christina's house.
Who is a child under Darcy's care as she's walking out of the lake?
King Arthur, apparently.
Well, yeah, but what's their name?
I don't know, I never met him.
Arthur.
Okay, smartass.
So, where do we go to look for this person?
Maybe look for properties that Darcy had in her name? Honestly, I don't
City
know.
Hall.
Wouldn't be a quest if it were easy.
So where did Darcy live? Was anyone related to Darcy that could help us get information on her?
Wait. Lottie. Lottie knew Darcy. Better than anyone, I think. Maybe. Oof.
Aurora will offer Cassidy her hand to help her out of the lake.
Cassidy will take her hand.
Where can we find Lolly?
Oh, that or we can ask Siren. Maybe Siren knew.
Okay, where can we find
To the
Simon?
library.
Yeah.
Libraries.
Because that is where
So-
Siren will be.
Yes. He normally is there. I can attest to that.
Let's go to the library! I'm so excited!
I will say that would be a scene for another evening. This was just to get this particular thing on the road. So if everyone is happy, we will end our scene there. Because you're going to have to bring an elk back to the house.
That'll
So
be fun.
Yes, that too.
thank you players for playing. Thank you watchers for watching. This has been another scene in Darkness in Dublin. Have a pleasant evening.